Hello again, and welcome back to Foreign Currencies with Scott. I'm your host, Scott. So, we haven't traded for a couple of days in our demo account, and it's not because we're lazy, it's because there have not been trades to open given our method. So, let's take a look into why that is the case. So, we have a 5-minute chart here of our normal GBP USD. And you can see at the bottom here we have each hour. So we're going to go back to 1700 yesterday, and we're going to mark where the New York market closed. Now you can see that these two green candles here had a gap. And let's do a drawing here and we'll make that gap more clear. Okay. So this is the 1655 5-minute period, and this is the 1700 5-minute period. Now, both are up candles, and since it's a green candle, the period ended right there where the center of my oval is, and that's where the next 5-minute period should open, but it did not. It gapped much higher up to here where the market opened. And sometimes we'll see that during a market itself. This happened in between the New York and Australian market and can happen sometimes. So the market gapped higher. But regardless of that, just wanted to make note of that since it seemed a little unusual. Regardless of that, we can still map the close of New York. So we've asked for a horizontal line, and we're going to put it right there, okay? So the horizontal line comes in at 135.544. So that is the New York close. So what we normally look for is a movement away from this in either direction of at least 30 to 40 pips. So one thing I haven't done to this point in the videos, but might be a good practice to start to make it more obvious when we get back on at 3 a.m. when London opens and we take a look at it, is just to go ahead and put in lines for that minimum, absolute minimum of 30 pips. So in this case, our minimum of 30 pips would be from 54 to 84. So 84.4. So we're going to ask for another horizontal line here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put it all the way up to 84.4. Or thereabouts. Okay. So now we have our, if the price had moved higher after 1700 yesterday, we would want it to go all the way up to that line that we've drawn, as you can see right there, 135.844. We should also do this in case the market goes down between the New York close and the London open. So again, we'll ask for another horizontal line, and this time we're going to put it down to 24.4, which would be 30 pips away from this. So 24, 135, 24, 5. Okay, close enough. All right. So now if we back up a little here, we'll go ahead and delete our oval. You can see that we have 3 lines there. Now the lighter colored line is, we're looking at an open market, so that's the current price. But what we note here is that the market closed at 1700, right on that middle line. And now when we go to the London Open, we're looking for movement that has crossed that line and stayed on the other side of it in either direction. So as we move from 1700 on through the night, you can see that it's just dancing back and forth. Here at 2100, it goes a bit above the line, but then right back below it, and above it again just before midnight, and then below at midnight. Only really movement we see here is at 3 a.m., but this is at the London Open. So let's draw that oval again just to be sure we know what we're looking at. Okay, so right here, that red candle and then green candle, that is the 5 minutes before and then the London Open. So it is right on that line. If we drew another horizontal line here, just to get a feel for the price, we would see that at the bottom of that period prior, so I'm putting my horizontal line to the bottom of the red candle body at 255, we can see that the price here was 135,465. So about 8 pips lower. So not even anywhere close to our 30. All right, so we're going to delete that line now. So then as the hour moved on and we went from 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Okay, now we can see that at 6:30 here, we did touch 30 pips. We did touch 30 pips and we started to come down. So that would be normal activity that we would see where we'd want to enter a trade, but we've barely and actually not even hit 30 pips away. And this is at 6:30. This is just an hour and a half away from the New York Open again. So it's not a good trade day. And as we can see, what happened by 8 is let's get this in focus better here. By 8 a.m., we were solidly back in the middle again. So about 15 pips up from the close of New York. And then here you can see, and you see another instance of a gap here during New York Open. Within the first 30 minutes of Open, it gapped. And movement above the 30 pip line and below, but it's just our opportunity for the day has gone. Really, the closer to the London Open we can get this, the better. And certainly after New York has opened, we do have one little opportunity. Not a good example of it here. We'll talk about it when we see it. But there's just nothing there today. And there will be a lot of trades available in our lifetime, so there's no reason to force one when one just isn't there for this method. Okay, now real quickly before we go, let's go ahead and delete all these annotations. And let's go back to the day before. So here we're at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to go back to 1700 Wednesday, which was yesterday. This point is where we started. Now we're going to go back another 24 hours and look at 1700 on Tuesday. All right, so let's bring that to the center of the screen, and then let's go ahead and draw an oval there so we all know what we're talking about. Okay, so 1700 here, the 2 red candles, and then a green candle to open the 1700 period in Australia. So New York closed at the bottom of that second red candle. So let's go ahead and mark that horizontal line. Okay, that is where New York closed on Tuesday. So again, if we use this same method where we draw lines that are 30 pips above and 30 pips below as targets, we'll see that our value at the close of Tuesday was 135,175. So if it goes in the up direction, we're going to look for 135,475. So let's go ahead and draw that line. $135,475. Okay, 472, close enough. All right, and then let's do one lower. So 175 minus 30 is 875. So 134, 875 will be if it goes in a down direction. Oops. So let's touch that line and pull it down to 875. I keep touching the wrong thing here with my finger. One more try. All right, doing something completely different there. There we go. Okay, 874, close enough. Okay, so now this is the close of Tuesday at 1700 that we can see right there. Close of Tuesday. We have our 30 pips if it goes up, 30 pips if it goes down, and right on the close. So if we go across here, we'll see it's moved up. It's moved up again, and again, late in the evening, it got close to 30 pips, but did not cross it. Then it went back down again to the close, and it tried to get a little lower. Then it went back up again. Okay, so 3 a.m., again, London open on Wednesday, right here. So again, way too close to our New York close line to put a trade in. Way too close. Now, as London was open, it moved higher, still did not cross 30 pips change here. And in fact, went right back down to the line. And then here we have the New York open again at 8. But again, that's kind of too late. And you can see that it did cross 30 here, but then very shortly thereafter it went up even more. So once we get beyond 8 and we don't have a good position for this, we just call it a day. And we have definitely called it a day 2 days in a row now. So that is Wednesday and Thursday, no trades. So next time we'll take a look at the Thursday close and the Friday open and see what happens then.